Okay, so in this video, I just want to show you how you can edit your quiz, add restrictions, okay? Now, in the other video that I made, I showed you how you can create a quiz, okay? And this is a quiz that I created for my students, okay? So this is a speech science quiz. So I have created the quiz, which I talk about in the other video. Now you can actually add some restrictions, okay? Now I talked a little bit about this last time, but I will add more details into this video. So the first thing you need to do is, okay, I have created a quiz, all the questions I can see here, okay? And after doing that, I can go to restrictions, and in the restrictions, I can do several things, okay? Now, I can have a due date for the quiz. So let's say it's a quiz taken at home, so I can add a due date, just like an assignment. But let's say it's a quiz which is taken in class or online, okay, in front of the teacher. So what you can do is you can have the quiz availability. So which means that you can have a start date, an end date, and also the start time and end time in this, okay? Now, let's say I want this quiz to be available on March 24th from 5:30 to March 24th, 5 to 6 o'clock, okay? So this means that the test is going to be available from 5:30 to 6, okay? Now, this is really important to remember. If I make the start date and end date and the start time and the end time, this really means that the link to the quiz is available on this date from 5:30 to 6, and after 6 the link is not available. It doesn't mean that the quiz is from 5:30 to 6, okay? So that's really important to know, okay? So don't think that the quiz people have to stop taking the quiz at 6 o'clock. It just means that somebody who walks in after 6 cannot take the quiz because they don't have the link. So they go to Brightspace and they're looking for the quiz. They will not be able to see the link to the quiz. Now this is really nice because you don't want any, let's say you don't want any latecomers to the test, okay? So what you could also do is, instead of 5:30 to 6, you can even do 5:30 to 5:40, which means that this link is available only for 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, if somebody walks in, they cannot take the test, okay? So this is a nice little restriction that you can add to the quiz if you are very strict about when they can start the quiz, okay? Again, it doesn't mean that they cannot take the quiz after. It means that somebody who started the quiz can continue taking the quiz, but people who walk in after 5:40, they will not be able to see the quiz. So that's the availability of the link to the quiz, okay? The next thing is the timing. Now you can have a recommended time limit, okay, which is going to be 120 minutes, okay? Or you can also enforce a time limit. So let's say your quiz is just 10 minutes with a 5-minute grace period, or let's say your quiz is 30 minutes, or let's say your quiz is 20 minutes. So you can enforce a time limit, which means that they have to stop after that time, okay? So they cannot continue the quiz after that time, okay? Also, there are other options. After this time limit, you can allow the students to continue working, okay? Or you can prevent the student from making further changes. That's it, okay? If you choose this, after this time limit, they cannot make any further changes. They have to submit the quiz, okay? Or you can allow the student to continue working, but automatically they can score the attempt as 0 after an extended deadline. So you want to give an extended deadline of 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, okay? It's up to you. So that's also a nice option where you say, okay, I given a time limit, but maybe I'll give him 1 extra minute, after which it's going to be all 0, okay? Or maybe I'll give him 5 minutes, give him or her 5 minutes, okay? So that's also a nice option. But if you're really strict about your test, time limit, then you can just choose prevent the student from making further changes, because he just gets this 20 minutes and that's it. He has to stop the test and submit the test right after that. He cannot make any further changes after that. Now, you can also give special access to certain people. So let's say there is a person with a special need who needs extra time to take the quiz. So you can provide extra special access, more time for this person, okay, a different date maybe, okay. So all those things can be accessed by clicking on this button right here. Okay, now this is really user friendly, so I won't be talking about it, but let's say there's a student in your class who needs extra time or a different date, then that can be done for selected users by clicking on this part. Okay, so these are all the restrictions that you can add. The next one is assessment. So I'm going to click on assessment here. This is something which I already talked about. This is really automatic grading. You can connect your quiz to a grade item. Okay, so let's say you have created a grade sheet which has quiz 2, then you can connect it to quiz 2. And what happens is this quiz, after the student takes it, it's going to be automatically graded, and then it's going to be exported automatically to the grade sheet. Now, you can add objectives if you want. The last one is submission views. Now, this is really important, okay? Now, after the take the test, what happens? So let's say a student has submitted the test. What do you want to do after that, okay? Do you want to show questions, okay? So, or no, maybe he submits the quiz, okay, and he gets the score, but you don't want to show the correct answers, the wrong answers. It's up to you. So if you select no, it means that the student will not get any of the questions. Which questions he got correct, which questions he got wrong, nothing, okay? But I like to choose the yes option. I like to give them a feedback, okay? Now, if you select yes, there are many options. Do you want to show all the questions that the student answered incorrectly? Do you want to do that? Or maybe you want to do questions, you want to show the questions that he answered correctly, or he or she answered correctly. Show all questions without the student's responses, or maybe show all questions with user responses. I like to choose this, where once the student submits, he not only gets the scores, but he gets to see all questions and his responses, which one he got correct, which one he or she got wrong. Okay, so this is really a nice option which shows all the question answers, and also show question score and out of score. Okay, which means that if somebody got 13 out of 20, so it's going to say 13 out of a total of 20 scores. Okay. So also here's an option where you can show the attempt score and overall attempt score. Okay, and also if you want to show the statistics, so if the student wants to know what's the class average, you can select this, and also the score distribution. Okay, so that can be done. So it gives you a nice statistics where the student can say, where do I stand in this class? Okay, am I in the lower end of this class, upper end of this class? So more details the student gets. So that's all. Okay, so this quiz is really nice, the Brightspace quiz, because there are a lot of options and restrictions that can be added, that can be tailor-made for a particular course. Okay, so that's about it. So this is the second part of the quiz. In the other part of the quiz, I really just talk about how a quiz can be created, and this one is more of adding certain restrictions to that quiz. Thank you for listening.